Behind the ring! Go! The bell! Raise the bell! It's underway! And we are underway, and they haven't even... Right into the post! The golden ticket holder instantly! I love it! The fans have been cleared from the entire front row. Oh! Been cleared from the entire front row. Oh my God! 5 rows of seats! Like Sean Baker's chances. Oh, I am. That's it. You see what he can do in this ring. Jones is now he's out, not have the experience of a Justice Jones, a bit of a dividing themselves and let truth minutes. Look, game. Oh, choke slam! Out those games. Oh, choke slam! Oh, what a kill the man! You had Justice Jones before in Crash Tested Wrestling. Is he with the ARC or not? Who is it? Oh, there's a lot of individuals that were entering this match at less than 100 points. It's a second look. Exciting matchup. Continental United States is broken loose. You gotta keep your eyes open. But win and be a champ. Oh my God! Anybody can. Third versus something can be done about it. He was straight from the bottom rope. Oh, and cost Angel a title opportunity. Here, all hell has broken loose here. If he was able to survive cancer, he could survive this. If he was able to survive cancer, he could survive this. John Hudson is being violated, and they have had only a very, it's not to say that Jared Priest should eliminate Willie the Bomb Richardson when it's not to say that Jared Priest should eliminate Willie the Bomb Richardson when his back is. I don't agree with that statement at all. This is repulsive. Now I gotta see this. This is repulsive. Now I gotta see this colorful ring in the ring. The hell is going to we're assembled in this. And the competition is true. There's now now you're gonna pay, and you're up against it. And here we go again. Justice Jones, they're going at it again. This is this match, they're going at it again. And he's gonna make a pay. Look at that. Mitch Blake and Justice Jones. There he is. The situation. Dio is the situation out of control. DOJ just got gained by taking out of control. DOJ just got gained by taking Real W. Oh, but he went up against one of the top competitors in the screwball. Hanging on by a thread. Screwball. Hanging on by a thread. And I mean, looks O'Bannon at this point. Very interesting, as we have seen the what the plate is capable of as they work together. Capable of as they work together. This is inexcusable. This is inexcusable. And he's gone. Scott Real here at Lucked Out. And may I mention, this is what you deserve. You lost. This is what you deserve. You lost this. You need to go. Oh no, you need to go. Oh no, he's in the ring. He's on your side. In the ring. He's on your side. Possible opportune moment. That's it. Gonna do it 2 years in a row. Yes, yes. Get the other leg over. Love you. You got him down. You got him down. He's nowhere to turn. Hang on. Hang on. Don't fall. Oh no. No. Nowhere to turn. Hang on. Hang on. Don't fall. Oh no. No.
Oh, I can't handle this. He was so close after wrestling for 53 minutes. I've had some time to reflect and to think it over and analyze the situation at hand. At Crash Tested Wrestling's Lucked Out, Justice Jones won the golden ticket. He is in possession of an opportunity to challenge for the Crash Tested Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship whenever he chooses and decides over the course of the next year. But Justice Jones, you have made a huge mistake, and I predicted that it would happen in the first place. The bond that you and Brubaker have, the CTW Heavyweight Champion, is inexistent. Jones, you made a mistake. You helped Brubaker win the championship from BOW in the first place. And then you go on to win the golden ticket, last eliminating BOW. As an aftermath, what happened to you, Justice Jones? You were laid out. You were laid out by the person that you thought that you were going to call your friend, Brubaker. Justice Jones, he's learned that karma is a mother. Brubaker clearly lost his cool. And when he lost his cool, he didn't find that Justice Jones had any more value to him, so he tried to lay him out. And when you were laying out on the floor and everybody was in absolute shock and horror at the fact that your body was on the ground, I came to thinking, even though I wasn't even there, as soon as I heard the information at hand, I thought to myself, maybe BOW should get that golden ticket instead. But the fact of the matter is, you are out for the foreseeable future. Let's talk about what happened over the course of the past few months in Crash Tested Wrestling. Let's talk about what happened at Lucked Out and how this is unraveled into Aftermath and then Reality Check. A new general manager in Crash Tested Wrestling was appointed. It is Aaron Xavier. I find that odd for a reason, because Windy City AC in the past has been at odds with Aaron Xavier. Remember when there was the MPR, Money, Power, Respect, and Aaron Xavier actually said it was a good idea for billion-dollar playboy Deron Banks to go ahead and rough him up. Windy City AC. I think that selection might bite Windy City AC down the road. I don't understand exactly what Aaron Xavier's intentions are. After Justice Jones is laid out at Aftermath, what happens? He's calling the shots. He's telling Brubaker, you have to defend the championship at Reality Check against Jason Hades, the returning Jason Hades, a man that has made a career out of being one of the top flight independent professional wrestling stars in the entire Midwest, in the entire country, and he's returning right here to Crash Tested Wrestling for a very exciting battle. Brubaker is more than capable of defending himself. And at Reality Check, I think Brubaker can defeat Jason Hades and retain the CTW World Heavyweight Championship. Saturday night, May the 27th at the Don Preston Rec Center in Midlothian, Illinois, 7 p.m. start time. All the information as to how you can see this action is available on LRPlive.tv on the LRP network. It will be streaming live. For a very low price of $4.99, you can check out each and every one of those matches, and you can see all of the action that breaks down. Reality Check is shaping up to be one of the biggest cards for Crash Tested Wrestling so far this year. Anything and everything can possibly go down, and with fresh new matchups and exciting battles, there is no doubt in my mind that Reality Check will be the top flight event that everyone is going to be watching live online across the entire world. Let's talk about the Crash Tested Wrestling Tri-States Championship match. Finally, Miles Mercer has gone over and beyond the call of duty as a member of the ARC. He has shown maturity, he has shown dedication, he's shown honor and respect to his teammates, and now C-Red has him primed and prepared for the championship challenge of his career. Miles Mercer versus Jake Andrews. You're talking about two young top prospects going up against one another. One of those two will walk out of the Don Preston Rec Center in Midlothian, Illinois as the CTW Tri-States Champion. Jake Andrews, that dream has to come to a close, and the reality check for you is that you were a placeholder as a champion. Just climbing a ladder, grabbing a championship, I don't agree with that. And the way that you retained the title at Lucked Out was very, very questionable, because you let John Hudson do all the work before you scooped in and won the whole entire thing. Well, you are still the CTW Tri-States Champion. But the question is, for how long? Jake Andrews has said on social media that his flying knee is going to be too much for Miles Mercer to handle. Miles Mercer has that cool, calm confidence that I think will propel him to a victory. I think Miles Mercer might make your championship come to a screeching halt at CTW's Reality Check. In recent months, CTW's former women's champion Angel has shown that she has a little bit of a short fuse, and she can go off on anybody at any time, at any place, anywhere. And let's talk about what happened at Lucked Out. It was the Cigar Lounge by Mr. Infinity and O, Jack Moody. Jack Moody had asked Angel a couple of questions, and what does Angel do? After getting a wonderful, spectacular gift from the man, she slaps him across the face. And then she challenges Jack Moody at Aftermath and beats Jack Moody. Now, I wasn't there to see it, and I know Mr. Infinity and O, Jack Moody, is still undefeated against male competition in all of crash-tested wrestling. But when it has come time for Angel to win the big matches against the ladies as of late, she has had a very up and down sort of record. Angel has agreed to the challenge, and it's going to happen at Crash Tested Wrestling's Reality Check. First time ever meeting between these two. Angel, one of the top flight independent professional wrestling women's athletes of all of the past decade, is going to go one-on-one against the Reality of Wrestling Diamonds Division champion, a very new, upcoming, rising, and exciting young talent, Kylie Rae. And Kylie Rae has a lot of incredible skills, agility. She has everything that you would ever desire in a top-flight women's athlete. Very athletic. She puts forth an incredible effort in the ring, and she has all the heart to be a champion and a top-flight star in all of independent professional wrestling, and maybe in all of worldwide pro wrestling. But there's a problem, Kylie Rae, and it all starts with the personality. I've seen a lot of footage of Kylie Rae, and that quirky, awkward, bizarre, very shaky personality of yours might be a hindrance. And if Angel locks in one of those headlocks on you, you might not be the same ever again. It's not going to be party time for Kylie Rae. It's going to be a test of endurance to see if you can handle being in the ring with somebody that is beyond your equal. And I consider this to be a toss-up, but if I had to lean in one direction or the other, I would say that Angel will put down Kylie Rae at Reality Check. Jack Moody has had some difficult luck dealing with the elements. Jared Priest and kendo sticks and the white phenom, everywhere he twists and turns his head. And then he's got to worry about Angel as well. Well, I don't know exactly what's lined up for Jack Moody at Reality Check, but I can tell you one thing. He's got to get himself some backup, because Mr. Infinity and O is developing an incredible long line of individuals who want to take his head and serve it to someone else on a silver platter. Jack Moody, you got to find yourself someone to align with, and I suggest you do it soon, prior to Reality Check. Jared Priest at Aftermath, I heard, had a very hard-fought victory in his match against Joey Britton. But I was looking around on the Crash Tested Wrestling Facebook page, and I came across the Crash Tested Wrestling's inaugural issue of their magazine. What did I find on the cover? Jared Priest. Your win-loss record in recent months has been less than stellar. And if it were up to me, I think Crash Tested Wrestling needs some champions on the cover. I think that it would be beautiful if we had the N-words, Bryce Benjamin and Acid Jazz. Let's talk about what's happening at Reality Check coming up Saturday night, May the 27th. There's a marquee tag team rematch that we have been waiting for ever since it transpired at CTW's Destiny 2, Dreams Reloaded. Remember when the N-words won the CTW United States Tag Team Championships against the Rage? Well, now they finally get their straight-up rematch. Mitch Blake and Screwball versus the N-words, CTW United States Tag Team title rematch. I am under the impression that the N-words will still be undefeated in Crash Tested Wrestling as the CTW United States Tag Team Champions leading through Reality Check. Speaking of the tag team division in Crash Tested Wrestling, the return at CTW's Lucked Out, thanks to Teddy Long, Smash and Flash, but they learned the harsh reality that Zero Gravity still hasn't figured out how to make a legal tag as they continue to do all these illegal moves. Even when they're not even supposed to be inside of the ring, they just go ahead and do them anyways. But at some point, that has to come to a halt, and your bad luck continues to unravel because Zero Gravity, you keep getting so close, but yet so far from winning the tag team titles, and then you're left in a matter of obscurity because the gravity is just forcing you to come down after you jump in the air for too long. Teddy Long, on 2 occasions, Smash and Flash, has put you in dangerous situations and environments where you just can't win. You can't win the tag titles. You can't do anything against the ARC because the numbers are against you. So I think that Smash and Flash need to come to a realization that they just don't have the numbers to deal with the ARC or with the N-words, and that they need to start over from scratch within the tag team division and try to meet the competition at the lowest level to start and build up steam to try to rise to the level that they want to be in the future. They haven't done it in recent months, but maybe at Reality Check we'll see a new side of these tag teams that we haven't seen before. Renee Van Peebles, one of the strongest and most popular young women's stars in all professional wrestling, has hit a roadblock in her stride to have the greatest championship reign as CTW's women's champion of all time. Miss Moxie Molly. Moxie Molly wins 1 match, thanks to Jack Moody, on the Angel, becomes #1 contender for the CTW Women's Championship, gets her shot against Renee Van Peebles, and gets a count-out victory at Aftermath. Well, at Reality Check, it's the rematch. The title's on the line. Aaron Xavier has added the stipulation. He's throwing all sorts of stipulations up against the ARC all of a sudden, which I don't quite understand because Aaron Xavier at one time was part of the ARCs. If Renee Van Peebles gets counted out or disqualified, she will lose the championship, so Renee Van Peebles is in a situation where she must win at Reality Check if she's going to continue to reign as the CTW Women's Champion. And I think that Moxie Molly's little string of luck will end at Reality Check. Moxie Molly, you're not in Renee Van Peebles' league. You are not the diva that she is. Good luck. Go back to the drawing board and reestablish where you came from and why you want to be in Crash Tested Wrestling in the first place. A very interesting first time ever matchup one-on-one. We're talking about the man that is the doctor of Gainesology, the nephew of Hercules, Mr. 3% John Hudson, one of the most sculpted Adonises that has ever stepped foot inside of a professional wrestling ring in this generation, is going to go one-on-one against Waylon Beck. We're talking about a guy that has had a storied career in the past decade plus, being in the ring in a lot of other professional wrestling organizations in and around the Midwest, Illinois, all sorts of states. This guy is the real deal. He's got a track record. He likes to train by drinking beers, but the difference is that the man with the focus, the man that is a future televised sensation and a star, John Hudson, should be able to put Waylon Beck down, and I see that happening at Crash Tested Wrestling's Reality Check. Recently, C-Red, as part of the ARC, has constructed and developed a plan of action, and I find it very peculiar that C-Red would go out of his way to convince Willie the Bomb Richardson to join his alliance. And Willie Richardson, Mr. Politician, Mr. He's got to dump garbage on my head, has made a clear-cut decision that he's going to be the turncoat, that he's going to be the lying politician, scoundrel, and dog that he is, and he's going to be a troublemaker, and he's going to continue to ally himself with C-Red no matter where he goes and no matter what he does, and this time Willie Richardson has agreed to join the ARC. But Rion Skills isn't too far behind, because he's a clown too, and wherever Willie goes, you know Rion's going to follow. At Crash Tested Wrestling would find out during the 8-man tag team elimination match at the last event, Aftermath, that Rion Skills actually has elected to join the ARC as well. Now we are all fully aware that Willie Richardson and Rion Skills are not to be trusted, They are on the wrong side of the road, and I don't know why C-Red has elected to add these two to the group, but there's obviously a reason. Because Willie Richardson is a bully, and Rion Skills is the kind of guy that clowns around and maybe is at the laughing expense of C-Red in the first place. The ARC is a group, it's a conglomerate, it's a faction that is continually growing and getting better by the day. They already have the CTW Women's Championship, and maybe sooner or later down the road, they'll have possession of more and more and more championships. And although I don't agree with C-Red's decisions, I have to give it a wait-and-see attitude about Willie Richardson and Rion Skills being a part of the ARC. I think that could sink the ship instead of make it float. Clearly, the Plague have not necessarily seen eye to eye as of late. Losing big matches in main event situations, being at odds with one another. I don't want the Plague to be at odds. I don't want the Plague to be in a situation where they're constantly clashing with one another. I think that they need to work things out. At Lucked Out, BOW eliminated Fallout Ace Bradley. And then, in their subsequent tag team match at Aftermath against Justice Jones and Brubaker, they didn't really see eye to eye on that occasion all the time either. So I'm certainly hoping that Reality Check that there is some sort of a meeting of the minds so that we can clear this all up once and for all, because I think that BOW and Ace Bradley are an asset to Crash Tested Wrestling. As the Plague, they have power, they have a fan base, and those two need to just clear up the air and refocus on what's most important, and that's getting back championship gold. A breath of fresh air, the survivor Barry Wright has been issuing challenges left and right to a number and a variety of different athletes. Barry Wright is a legacy that is growing to become legendary, and you better keep your eyes on Barry Wright as his winning streak and his challenges continue to unravel, and I have a feeling that when we get to Reality Check, we're going to see more and more of that same sort of thing. One of the greatest things about Crash Tested Wrestling is the level of unpredictability. New talents constantly on the scene, and you never know exactly who or when somebody might show up and change the entire landscape and the entire scene of the company. Everyone needs to stay tuned, because Crash Tested Wrestling's Reality Check is shaping up to be one of the top professional wrestling cards of the entire month. The production value combined with the talent, the lighting, the spectacle, the loudness of the fans, the passionate fans that we have at Crash Tested Wrestling, it will be a night to remember for all, and I just can't wait to be back, to be the voice that matters the most in all of Crash Tested Wrestling, that tells the truth, a version of the truth that you won't hear anywhere else. I'll see you at Reality Check.